back in the studio. What's up, everybody? I'm your pal, George Boutsalis.
And I'm your other pal, Ricky Liorti. And this episode, we had fitness entrepreneur, not personal trainer, fitness entrepreneur.
Common misconception.
Yeah, common misconception. We had Beverley Chang in the studio. She's awesome. She's originally from the West Coast. She's moved here, built this great empire on fitness and activities and retreats and so many amazing things. You might know her from Instagram. She's got numerous followers there, and she's got a great following. Again, all fitness related things. Born to sweat, sexy and sweaty.
Sweat Nation.
Sweat Nation. So many good businesses there. So take a listen to this one. It was a blast. And Georgie,
I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, our good buddy Stephen Liambis at Homes by Stephen. I'm gonna take a seat here. At Homes by Stephen. I mean, guys, if you've listened to our episodes, you've heard it before. I'll say it again. Stephen is one of the best in the business. He always puts his clients' needs first. Whether you're buying, selling, leasing, Steve will always have your best interest in mind and make sure that you find the property or home that's right for you. You can find him at Homes by Stephen or homesbysteven.ca. We'd also like to give a shout out to one of our amazing sponsors and partners, Kind Magazine, the fastest growing lifestyle magazine in Canada. Find them anywhere. Go into your local dispensary, get them online. You guys can pick them up. They do some great work, great content, and you might be seeing your pals featured in the next edition. I mean,
in the December edition,
yeah.
you're gonna catch your pals there. So make sure you take a look and peep it when it comes out.
Check a look. Yeah.
Check a look.
That's a good cue there. My pal LFG.
Let's go.
Slippers in an office.
Slippers are the best.
Okay, let's go.
All right, we good?
We're good.
We're live?
I feel like I'm on Oprah.
That's really high praise.
I was gonna say that. I feel great that if you think we're on.
Yeah, we really appreciate
I'm
that.
That's it. The chair looks good on you. Well,
you.
Beverley, welcome to the Pals Podcast. Good to have you in.
Thank you so much.
I feel like it's been a long time that we've been trying to set this up, so I'm glad we finally got to it.
I'm glad that you guys brought me into an office in Toronto that I know that you rented just for me.
Yeah, basically. Our second guest in the studio ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bev, you gotta sign the wall after.
Oh,
We gotta
yeah,
get
yeah.
you-
Oh my gosh.
We started doing that. It's kind of, we're gonna fill this entire wall.
Eventually.
Yeah. You can sign any
Eventually.
brick you want.
Cool. Okay. I'll be keeping my eye out.
Beautiful.
Yes. Well, let's jump right into it. That's my go-to saying. Beverly, obviously, for people listening, and obviously the people that follow you online, obviously you're a big personal trainer. When did you get into it? How did you start? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Actually, myth. I'm not a personal trainer.
Okay.
I actually hate personal training.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just came out.
Whoa, okay.
I'm
do
just
some
going to turn
research.
this right back around.
I love
you
it. I
guys.
love it.
I get that a lot, like asking me if I like personal training or like how I got started as a personal trainer. I hate personal training. I think it's the most dull part of fitness, to be honest.
Okay.
Wow, fair.
Yeah. So what happened is like I grew up playing sports my whole life. I played rugby at a pretty high level in university and for club teams and like provincial teams.
Wait, which teams?
I played for Team Alberta.
Are you
Team
from out
BC.
there?
I grew up in Calgary.
Okay.
So I played for like the Irish. Probably means nothing to you. Then I moved to Vancouver, played for Team BC. I played for UBC. So
Wow.
yeah, some really great teams. And then when I graduated university, I was like, I'm done like tackling women. It's time to grow up. And so I like time to move on with my life. So I loved working out. Like I always had friends who would be like asking me to create workouts for them or recipes or things like that. And then I was like, I'm going to just create a little website. And I just had these grand plans and I was making like 3 YouTube videos a week and they were getting like up to like 400 views and
Big
not
deal.
many more than that.
But time out. 400 is still a lot. Like I remember when we launched our first YouTube video, it had 200 views, and I was like, "This is sick."
Really? That makes me
like,
feel better.
Like we were like,
Yeah.
we're just normal dudes. So when we released it, it's like, hey, 200 people plus like our actual podcast downloads. Like we felt pretty good about that.
100%.
That was
Okay.
like, mind
Yeah.
you gotta think about like, hey, me, my mom, my dad, George's
the
mom,
biggest
George.
fan,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like counting. I'm like, okay, there's 10 at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, so-
Actually, kind of just not to just to jump on that point. That's the interesting thing, right? Like 400. If you actually consider if you fit this room with 400 people, it's a lot of people to talk to. Like it's a lot of people listening to you. But when you look at like how social media just proliferated right now, you see have a couple hundred. You're like, oh, okay, that's nothing.
I
Because
know.
so many people can get 100,000 or 1 million, whatever, just from like their kind of being influencer in that space. But like if you actually really think about affecting 400 people or like conveying a message, that is quite a few people.
I wish I had you in my life 5 years
Gotta
ago.
look at the positive side of it, right?
Wait, so is this, you were doing this 5 years ago, so 2015-ish?
Yeah. I was making like, it's just when you put in so much time and effort, and I had this like shitty little blog, and it was just like, I
What was it called?
loved it so much. It was called Sweat is Sexy.
Okay. I
Okay.
like that.
And I couldn't create like email accounts. I couldn't create anything because it was like Google or whatever thought it was like a porn website.
Okay. I
can
get
see
it.
the misconception. For sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't
almost
do
just choked
anything.
on
I
my
couldn't
water.
run Google ads. I couldn't create like an email account, nothing.
Trying
And
to tell your
I'm-
parents about your new blog. Your parents like, what the F?
Yeah, and I was like, Sweat is Sexy. It's so sexy. And so then I had to change the name. It was Sweat is Sexy for like a year, and then I changed the name to Sweaty and Fit. And yeah, and then I just kind of kept creating content more and more and more. And then at some point, I think like 2016, or 2017, I rebranded completely to Born to Sweat, which just like felt so right. I didn't really like the name Sweaty and Fit. It was kind of just like a placeholder. And yeah, I just continued to like write blog posts. I used to work in insurance when I graduated university. I know.
That's interesting. Rugby to ensure. I guess there's a tie in there, you know.
There's no tie.
Yeah, I was like, what?
There's no tie.
Rugby
trying to
players get
relate
hurt. You know, I don't know.
I mean, ensuring your health and playing a contact sport, I guess, if you're really going to try and connect the dots.
I'll tackle these girls, and now I'll tackle your insurance policies.
There you go. That was the
Oh,
tagline.
man.
Yeah. No, it was awful. But it was great because it was a job that like literally I would work 3 out of 8 hours, and the rest of the time I was shopping or I was writing blog posts.
On the Sweat to Sexy. That's it.
Sweaty and fit.
Sweaty and fit.
Yes. There's been a lot of history. And then at some point in like 2016, all the content I'd been creating on Instagram really kind of took off. And it got to the point where I was like getting all these partnerships with brands and making pretty much as much money as I was in insurance.
Wow.
But I was still working I was working 2 jobs essentially. And yeah, and then in 2017 I quit and I just took on fitness full time. Not, like I said, not doing anything like in person. I was doing like group sessions, which I really enjoyed, but other than that, everything was online. Like I was selling online programs. I was like selling, promoting products on Instagram. And then also I started a fitness retreat, Ultimate Sweataway. So it's kind of just been like this fun journey of me just coming up with ideas and being like, I want to try this out and just seeing what happens. And sometimes it flops and sometimes it works really well.
That's awesome. So you said you're not, there's a misconception of being a personal trainer. So what do you call yourself? How would you define yourself? If you can define it.
Yeah, I call myself like a fitness entrepreneur.
Well, that was exactly what I was just thinking.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually,
It
yeah.
took me like 3 years to come up with that.
Really? I like that. Yeah. I was going to say it to be more like on the base, like fitness influence type thing. Cause
Yeah,
you
but the
kind of
word-
do, like you are really.
Yeah, the word influencer only really took off, 3-4 years ago? But prior to that, it wasn't really a common word that people use, was it?
I don't know. I think it was because when I traveled, it was like 2017.
Yeah,
I knew the word term micro influencer back then.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, fitness entrepreneurs.
I call myself micro influencer because I had like 400 views on my videos too, but I was not a micro.
You had a
influencer.
couple big videos too.
A few,
couple
yeah.
had like 5,000,
Ooh.
10,000.
Yeah. So I did like a year trip around the world, and I had a YouTube channel for it. Like did a vlog
sweet.
and stuff.
His
like
videos
that.
were sick.
They're
It's a
alright.
shame he doesn't put as much effort into editing these videos as he did those. Because our podcast would be way bigger. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man.
Beverly, I want to ask, what was the first video or first post or something that really went viral for you? Or was it just a steady growth, slow month over month? Or was there one that like really took off?
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, it reminds me. I had a photo of my butt. And can you believe it? But it wasn't just my butt. It was my butt, but it was my butt like 3 years apart. And it was like, this was me 3 years ago. And it was like just you can change your body or like you can do whatever you want as long as like you put in the effort, the time, like the determination. And yeah, now that you say that, I recall that post doing really well, and just kind of from there it just continued to grow. So butts.
Yeah.
Butts are
So if
the
I
way to
post
go.
a picture of my butt, I'll get a lot of likes and
That's-
love.
yeah.
That's
Maybe
gonna
not
go viral.
yours. Maybe not yours.
Nobody wants to see that.
You should try it.
No, nobody wants to see mine either. Trust me.
That's
No,
scary.
I was just on that point. So you talking about the butt side by side, but you were always in good shape. You said you played rugby your whole life. So what do you think that specifically about that picture made the difference?
That it was so much bigger. It was a bigger butt.
Yeah.
And yes, for sure. I've always been fit. I've always been in shape, but I've always when I played rugby, I was small. Like I was like a twig trying I'll show you guys some videos. There's me
So here's where we edit in the video of her playing rugby on the YouTube video.
It's like me running like a little giraffe and just a twig running with the rugby ball. And so I was fit, but I was really small. And now
You're pretty tall. How tall are you? About 5'6"?
5'6". Yeah.
Good guess.
I saw her walking and I was like, she's roughly a little bit shorter than me.
Okay. It's good. It's a good guess, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really good. Do you want to guess my weight?
No, it's a slippery slope. I played this game before. Nope, not doing that again, ever.
Yeah, and so it was just honestly, just the size difference, skinnier butt, skinnier thighs, and then bigger butt, bigger thighs, and yeah, and then it just people really responded to that.
Oh, I got a good question on this. So there's a lot of, I don't want to say misconceptions, or a lot of women that think thick thighs and thick legs are bad, and there's other ones that want little skinny legs, What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's a big question. There's definitely
It's
women.
definitely a loaded gun question.
Yeah, no, but it's a good one. There's been times in my life where I'm I wish I had thinner thighs because then I could fit into jeans. Literally, I have 2 pairs of jeans, and they're mom jeans from the 70s when moms had the body that I have, I guess. But so at those times, I'm that'd be nice. But then there's been so many times in my life where I was just to learn to appreciate my legs. You can't tackle girls, or when I was an athlete, you can't tackle girls if you don't have strong thighs or strong legs. You can't run away from danger, or I've been in a lot of danger. No. Really? But if I was,
you're set to get away. You're good.
I'm good. Yeah. No, and there's it's just been most women, I think, a journey to appreciating the things that you think you don't like. And it's also really nice when you have people be oh, you have such nice legs. I'm do I? I thought they were just really big. And they're no, they're really nice. So when people give me compliments like that, and I think this is what a lot of people need to be better at as well, is when people give you compliments, actually accept it and take it to heart, and don't just brush it off and be no, I don't have nice legs, or I don't have nice this. If someone pays me a compliment, I fully believe it.
It's very nice, yeah.
You know?
Some people are still I guess what you're saying is a lot of people are still in their own head. They're I don't like my legs, or I don't like my whatever. And then someone says something, they're oh, they're just being nice, whatever. They're trying to make me feel good.
Yeah, they're being nice, or maybe if I keep keep disagreeing, they'll keep showering me with compliments or whatever it is. But I think if someone pays you a compliment, the best thing you can do is just truly accept it for what it is.
Take it at face value, yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
But no, I love big thighs. I think a lot of women there's more women who have normal looking thighs than skinny model thighs, and we should definitely learn to embrace it more and just strengthen them, continue to exercise, continue to run, continue to do whatever feels good to you, and build on them. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think it's important to love your body. There's people who are never gonna have super skinny thighs, and there's some people who probably won't ever have super muscular thick thighs. But as long as you love your own body and appreciate, this was given to me, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm fit, whatever, because fit has a lot of different shapes and sizes too. I think it's important to just know what your body is, know what your shape is, know how you feel, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel healthy, and then if you can appreciate that, that's what being fit is all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or looking fit, I guess.
Yeah. It's when you start working out and taking it away from the physical changes. Of course, physical changes are great. You want to change your body composition. You want to lose some fat. You want to lose some weight. Those are all great goals, but it can't be you can't work out for that sole reason, because that's one day you're going to hit your goal, and then what? You just stop working out until you gain weight again. So it's it's this whole conversation about loving your body and motivation for exercise or through exercise, but not just relying solely on how your body looks to get you through it.
So kind of on that note, so you don't do personal training, but you do online programs, guys, all that kind of stuff. What is your approach on that side? Is it do you take a holistic view? Is it like about just looking at someone and saying, you should do this, this, and this? Is it more like you just have different, like a variety of different offerings? Like, how do you go about creating programs and all these kind of things?
Yeah. I used to just be like, okay, just workouts. Like Adam one time said to me, he was like, your warm-ups aren't fun. And I was like, a warm-up's not supposed to be fun. It's prepping your body for an intense workout. And I was
prepping you to sweat.
Yeah. I was like, now go do 3 more laps. And I was fully serious. And then I started, so that's what I used to do, just like straight workouts, like to the point, get the job done. And then I started to realize like people want more than just a workout. They want like to talk about nutrition. They want to have community. They want to have like engagement and support. And so the more I created my programs, the more like I learned from the people who would buy them. They're looking to have like a community group aspect. And so with every single one of my programs, I always make sure to include that because it is such a big part of anybody's fitness journey. It's so hard to convince yourself to work out a lot of the time if you haven't like made it a consistent routine. But if you know like 100 other girls also don't really want to work out, but you're all doing it together, that makes it a lot easier. And then I also make sure to include a lot of like mindfulness practices. Like I personally meditate every day or like throughout the week, and I journal a lot. And so I always try to include that as well, because if you're not taking care of your stress or your mental health, then you're not going to be able to take care of yourself in your workouts. Like it's a
100%.
balance.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand. So you take a like now your approach is kind of looking at everything and just laying it all out for them and building that community, explaining that, like you said, like handling the stress, the mental aspect that can get you focused into that workout.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And so when the pandemic hit and I started running these challenges, I started bringing on like nutritionists and like people who would come on and speak to the group because I can talk.
Excuse me.
Oh,
sorry.
Excuse me.
I love that.
I didn't know what I should do. I was like,
no, thank you. I appreciate it.
Continue. I love that.
Sorry.
This is a good water break, actually.
Yeah. On that note, I'll just to echo what you said about the mental health and physical health. We ran a marathon, and we're going to do an episode talking about this later on this week. And we thought about this, and Georgie
ran like a week ago.
Yeah, we ran a week ago today. We ran a full marathon.
Wow.
And Georgie trained for it a little bit, and I didn't really. But the way
didn't at all, which is crazy.
I didn't train at all.
42 kilometers.
Yeah,
42.2.
No, I didn't train. So the way I looked at it,
let's just give a little quick context. So I was training for a marathon. It was supposed to be that weekend. It was in Athens, Greece. It got canceled, and I couldn't go. But so I kind of, when it got canceled, I kind of like waffled on my training. I was like, you know what? I still kept running, but I stopped my long runs. So the most I ever got to was like 30K in September. And you, like you said, you barely train. You don't run.
I don't. I walk. I enjoy walking, so I walk like 5-10K once or twice.
And your
a week.
farthest run before that was what?
I ran a half marathon 2 years ago with no training. But so he had called me. He's like, "You want to do this marathon?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm in the worst physical shape of my life right now, but mentally, I'm in the best shape of my life. Like I've never been as sharp as I am right now mentally, and as focused, driven, determined, and yada yada yada." So I said, "Let's do it, right? Because if my mind can do it, my body can follow suit. Because I think mental health is way more important than physical health. You can be physically fit but not mentally fit, and your life will suffer. If you're mentally fit and maybe not as physically fit, you can still thrive in life." And I strongly believe that. So we ended up running this marathon, and we didn't run it the whole way. We did this marathon. Let me correct myself.
That's a good way to put it.
So, but we ended up finishing 5 hours 45 minutes of straight continuous walk, running most of it, and we walked quite a bit towards the end. But it was a big mental challenge, and we did it. And shout out Georgie, me and you, and that we killed it.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, so it was good.
Crazy.
But that's just to echo your point. Mental health is such a key and important part of your physical health, and I think some people take that for granted sometimes, or don't really realize the importance of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think people are like either really big, not always, and this is a generalization. I think everyone is so focused on like physical fitness, or there's like the big one group of people who are more into like mindfulness and meditation and all that sort of stuff. But I think bringing the two together is so key. And then I even get that when I run these challenges and I say like, okay, this week you're going to focus only on meditation. And then the next week you're going to focus only on writing. And then the next week you're going to focus on getting 8 hours of sleep and doing things like that instead of being like,
so there are little tasks each week that focuses on one specific area. I like that.
Yeah. And then I say, like, if you feel like you have the ability to, like, stack them on top of each other, do it. But
Yeah.
not everyone is going to be able to meditate, journal, sleep 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
turn off their social media at 9 or whatever. Like, it's too much to ask. So I like to break it down into like small things and just sort of introduce people to like a new routine for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's about building little habits, right? Like, I think it's in the book, actually, Atomic Habits. It talks about studying little tiny small micro habits that you build and
Such
they
a
just
good
compound, right? You read it?
Yeah.
Really good. I read it. That's the first book I read when COVID like hit. I had picked it up at Indigo, and actually it's one of the few. I don't read a lot of like self-help type books. I think a lot of them just echo the same thing, but that one I really liked.
Yeah.
And one of the big points is like just small little things, like drink a little more water today, and then get like an extra hour of sleep, turn your social media off. And if you just keep doing one thing slowly and get that ingrained, if you try to change everything about your routine, like you're saying, do all those 3: meditation, journal, sleep, all at once, you're going to overwhelm yourself. It's going to be impossible.
Yeah. I totally agree with what you're saying, though, when it comes to self-help books, because I feel like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to be like, hey, you need to read all these books about like all these business things and about improving your life and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I'm not happy reading these books.
Yeah.
They are not adding value. I thought Atomic Habits was amazing. I also read this book called Why We Sleep.
I haven't read it yet.
I listened to it. Sorry.
Okay.
It's so good. But yeah, and I put so much pressure on myself to do this as well, because I thought it was like going to be so good for my business and my mental health and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I like reading about like murders, like fictional murders. I like to read about like fiction. And so I also
escape
took that,
from reality.
Yeah. And like go to bed and just like read something that's like not real and like not like I don't have to think about it. I don't have to make notes or, so I also like.
You're not highlighting at midnight in bed.
Yeah. And like then not being
8
able to
hours,
sleep.
Yeah.
So that's like something else that I'm definitely like going to be bringing into like my narrative and like talking with my clients about is like not feeling the pressure to like have to do something just because like other people seem to be doing it. Like, who's reading fictional books these days? I don't see anybody.
I personally read a lot. I don't read any fiction, but that's because I personally enjoy like I enjoy everything, but I like see fiction for me. I can get into it, but I'm the other side of it. I like to read like psychology type stuff or whatever.
Cool.
Just like
okay,
get
fair
into
enough.
it. But to your point, a lot of people like you see people reading, so you feel like the pressure, like, oh, I should read more. And I do think reading is really important. It helps you, expand your vocabulary and become more articulate, read other perspectives. But it's almost like a social pressure where it's like, oh, they're reading these books. They're really good books. I should be reading these. But if you can't get into something, it's worse to try read something you don't enjoy than read something that is, even if it's like nonsense, it could be a coloring book for whatever, who cares? Like, but if you're reading, as long as you're reading what you enjoy, and if you're reading something you don't enjoy, put the book down, like move on to another book. You don't have to finish that book. Like it's not like people look at them as trophies kind of thing. So you want to just keep reading and keep collecting them. It's like if you hit a wall and you're not into it, put it down. Like start another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those 4, adding that too, but I think the 3 things you said, to jump back to your point, like a lot of people are not, I'm not going to generalize, but people don't think put enough stock into like the mental aspect, like getting to sleep. I think sleep is super important. Like actually like turning your phone off, not bringing it like electronics, watching TV at night, like getting 8 quality hours of sleep. Meditating is really important. And I think a lot of people think of meditation as like I have to sit in a room with no noise or nothing and just meditate. There's so many different types of meditation now. Like you can go for a walk and just if you're clearing your head or just thinking about something, that's I guess not by definition meditation, but technically it's like you're meditating, right? You're in your own headspace and getting kind of clarity and all that stuff. So I think that's really important and people should be doing that a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. It's all and like it just comes back to like doing things that make you happy and like that make you feel good and not doing things just because like as we talked about like feeling the pressure from like society or from like social media. Like I always just bring it back to like what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel good, like what brings you joy and just being able to explore that without having that pressure of doing something for the sake of it.
That what you just said, I think is the thing. That's honestly one thing I say a lot to myself is like, what brings you joy? And I like anything that I try to do. I don't know if it's from Atomic Habits. I feel like I've read that somewhere, and it's like if something doesn't bring you like happiness, don't do it just to do it. And I honestly, if someone asks me to do something now, I mean, unless it's a close friend or family, I'm like, okay, even if I don't want to do it, I'll do it. But if someone says, can you do this, or do you want to do this, or do I want to read this? If it doesn't bring me real like enjoyment, like no chance, I won't do it at all. I'll say no.
Should I hit her with the 3 laws of Ricky?
What?
Whatever we're gonna call them, my 3 rules.
Okay, I didn't know this was a thing, but
I've said
sure.
it before.
I mean, I just didn't know there's a 3 laws.
Well, now I'm gonna make it
3 laws of Ricky, guys.
The 3 rules here. If it doesn't make me happy, better, or richer, I'm not doing it.
Wealthier, not richer.
Wealthier, sorry. Those are like my 3 laws. So I won't hang out with someone if it doesn't make me a better person, doesn't make me happy, doesn't make me. I won't do something that doesn't do one of these 3 things, because that I found that, and once I really started thinking about that, I feel like it's changed my life. Because everything I do has a purpose now. It's either I'm doing it to have fun and be happy, or I'm doing it to make myself a better person, or I'm doing it to, make myself money, or to do something I love doing. Whatever it is, it falls into one of those 3 categories.
Yeah. It's such a simple concept, but people can't, it's so hard to change our routines and to change what we think we should be doing. Like a perfect example is when I was in university, I used to
Sorry, what'd you study in university?
Finance.
Okay.
Yeah. Did not get a job in finance.
I was in finance. I did not enjoy it at all.
I didn't learn.
Weren't you in urban planning?
I switched in second year. We were both at Western.
Yeah.
I took BMOS, so I was in the finance. I hated accounting, found it so boring, and even economics I didn't really like. And I switched to geography. Urban planning, geography.
Yeah. I had this vision of myself. I was like, I'm gonna get my finance degree. I'm gonna make a lot of money, be miserable for 10 years, and then relax with my finance degree. And none of that happened. Thank God.
Plan took a 180 turn.
For sure, yeah. But going back, so in university, I used to play rugby. I used to practice, but I also felt like I had to run every single morning. So I used to run 5 mornings a week at 6 a.m. It was gross. It was so gross in Vancouver, which was always wet. And so I did this.
Gross.
Yeah, that doesn't sound appealing at all.
No, I did it for 4 years. For 4 years, I did that. Including,
Sorry, you ran 5 days a week at 6 a.m. for 4 years straight.
Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of what distance was it? Just short runs, long runs?
5Ks.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought so strongly that I had to do it. I thought I had to do it to stay fit. I thought I had to do it to maintain my physique. And then as I graduated university, I continued to do this running, not as often, but still quite maybe 3 days a week, including training 5 days a week. And I was hating it. I did not enjoy it at all. And then one day I was just like, you don't have to do this if it doesn't make you happy. You are not enjoying running. Who would enjoy that?
Yeah,
some people, but
Fair,
they are who they are. But and then so I just stopped. I was like, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. It's making me miserable, and literally nothing changed. My body stayed the exact same. The only thing that changed was I was sleeping more and I was happier, and it was such a revelation to me. I was like, wow, for 5 years I just did this thing that didn't make me happy just because I thought I had to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really learned from that.
Do you run it all now, or no? Is it completely out of your life?
I'll run once a month.
I respect that. Literally, that's me. I run once a month, if that.
Yeah.
I love walking. I'm a big time walker.
Walking's
I
great.
feel like I'm an old person when I say that. But I walk everywhere. So I live probably 2 kilometers from the studio. I walk here every time, unless George picks me up, like he did today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
But yeah, I walk everywhere. Every Saturday night, if I don't have plans, and now with COVID, obviously a lot of plans get canceled or changed, I'll just go for a walk down Lakeshore for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'll throw on a good podcast audiobook or some good playlist or a new album that drops, and I'll just walk. Sometimes I'm just bobbing my head by myself down Lakeshore.
It's the best. I was actually excited when I saw where you guys were. I was like, that's going to be a nice walk.
Yeah.
It's actually a really nice day today too. That's actually one thing. So I set a goal at the beginning of this year. One of my goals for 2020, which also have a different theory on goals now, but we're not getting into that. One of my goals is to walk more. And I actually, for the first 5 months, I would run, but I wouldn't walk. I wouldn't go on any walks. Because to that point, I thought...
me and you went on walks.
Not the beginning of the year. So because I like to run, so I use the Nike app, and I thought I had to measure. If I use that app and I turn on, I have to go for a run. So I would run. And then there's days where I wouldn't go because I'm if I'm not going to run, I can't go for a walk and log these miles. It's kind of cheating. Then one day, to your point, I was wait, I said I wanted to walk more. And I'm not going because I'm justifying it as I can't use this app and measure. This makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I just one day went for a walk, turned the app on. I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. And just went and I just started walking. So I don't even know where I was going at that point, but I wanted to walk more this year. Oh, that's where I was going. That I've now I think a couple of days a week, I'll just go out, which kind of ties to the point of meditation. For me, it's just getting out with nothing and walking. To me, that's kind of almost like my meditation. But yeah, I do it a lot more now. I find that that for me is how to get mentally clear and just be outside. And yeah, it's kind of nice.
On a beautiful day, there's nothing, in my opinion, there's not much more things that are refreshing and good to clear your mind than a nice walk outside.
Yeah.
It's so refreshing. The sun is out sometimes, even if the sun's not out. You're outside, you get some nice clean air, you're moving, you're being active, your brain gets going too. You see so many different things, you think of so many different things. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big walker here.
Yeah.
Big
Honestly.
walker. Yeah, shout out our moms. Yeah, we give them a shout out every episode basically, but our moms are huge walkers too. So like, as to George's point on the Nike app, George runs a lot, and then we'll just like watch our moms slowly climb up there because they do like 5-7K every single day.
Wow.
And they slowly climb
I
up.
got mad at my mom too. We did a 100K challenge. She beat me. And she's like, yeah, I beat you this month. I was like, yeah, but you walk. She's like, so? There's no rules against walking. I was
Yeah.
like, that's true. Fair enough.
No rules.
Each their own, yeah.
I want to rewind a little bit. So before we start talking about the mental aspect of working out, I think Georgie touched upon what a typical workout looks like, or what do you normally teach when you do these group classes?
Oh,
Are they
yeah.
high intensity training? Is it strength training, more cardio, a little mix of both?
Mm-hmm. When I used to do the group classes, I don't do them anymore. I really isolated myself. I like took away all human contact. But I did group classes for a couple of years, and then I stopped. I would say about a year ago. I stopped.
And you did that under Born to Fit.
Born to Sweat.
Born to Sweat,
Born to Sweat. It's okay. So many names. I did it. Yeah, I used to teach at Lululemon. They have like a gym in the
Yeah,
attic.
the attic, yeah.
So I used to teach there. And then I do classes outside as well. When you're in a group setting, I usually do like more full body workouts that incorporate like a mixture of strength and HIIT. My training style is very functional. I like to use a lot of free weights. I like to use like a lot of dumbbells. I like to do a lot of body weight movements. It would be like a mixture of like strength exercises. Say we're like mixing up like Bulgarian split squats or step ups or like push ups, things like that. And then we'd like incorporate like fast feet or burpees or like if we're outside like sprints and things like that. Okay. Yeah, I just like, I don't know. I feel like I was put on this earth to create workouts because I love creating workouts. It's like my favorite thing to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that that's your favorite? Everything you do, like being a fitness entrepreneur, that's your favorite. Like that's your favorite aspect
That
about
is
it.
my favorite thing. I like in the evening, I'll like sit down with my phone and I like have like a little weird smile on my face because I'm like, I'm gonna make my workout for tomorrow. And then I just like sit there and I think about it and I like type something in and then I like do something and I'm like, oh, that'd be good too. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
You look at Beverly's notepad on her phone, it's just like a million different
All
workouts.
workouts.
Yeah.
All workouts.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite exercise to incorporate in a workout? If there's one you can pick that's all like a staple.
Ooh. You know what exercise I've really started liking are dumbbell snatches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I find those hard about them? If you don't know how to do them properly, it's so easy to injure yourself.
Yeah, your back.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Like you watch these kids at like Good Life, and no disrespect to Good Life. So much disrespect. I watch people do like snatches there, any form of like clean jerk snatch, whatever. And I'm watching these people. I'm like, man, you're gonna throw your back out any second now. Like, you should not be doing this unsupervised or without somebody teaching you how to do this. But
Yeah.
I don't want to get. I'm in a good mood. I'm not getting into Good Life today.
Don't get
I'm not
into
getting
it.
into Good Life
Ricky's
today. I don't know.
gym rants
I don't know if you work with them.
Ricky's
If you
gym
partner
rants
with
are
them in the
next
past,
level.
good. No, we're on the same page. Yeah, me and Good Life, we don't get along.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Another question. What do you think is the most overrated workout?
Like overrated exercise?
Yes, overrated exercise. Something that people do a lot that you think that they don't really need to or do it.
that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good question. I would have to say kind of like any like I know there's like value in it, but any sort of like isometric exercise, like I don't really like lateral raises. I don't really like bicep curls. I don't like movements like that.
I was gonna say bicep curls is probably like the most overrated.
Yeah, my bicep curl is a chin up. Like that's how I train my
See,
bicep.
a chin up is a useful workout. It does your back as well too.
Yeah.
Like bicep curls is literally all for show.
All for
It's
show.
all for
and
show.
It's so boring.
Ricky's hair workout.
Mind you, I'm all about the show. I don't care how strong I am. I just want to look good. Okay, what's your personal favorite exercise? Not to incorporate with your clients. It's like for you to personally do.
I love. Can I have two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can have as many as you want.
I love.
You're the guest.
I love doing pull-ups.
Close grip, wide grip.
Not close. Like I
Like
guess
front,
like
yeah?
shoulder
Yeah.
width. I
How
love
many
doing
can you do?
pull-ups. My max is 10, but
That's
now
more
I
than
can
I
do
can.
probably 6 to 7
It's respectable.
because I don't really train. Like I haven't been able to train them in so long.
Fair.
You don't have a chin up bar in the house?
Okay, so
Hold on.
Pause the
trust
episode.
me.
She's like, I'm about to hit you with a story here.
There's two types of chin-up bars, okay? There's the type that you screw into the wall and you're like, and it's like...
Oh, yeah, doorway kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there's the other kind that goes over
The door frame.
frame.
That's the one I
can't do
have.
both. I can't do either of those in my house.
Really?
Yeah, because if I screw it into the wall, my door won't close. And I used to have the other one where you put it over the door frame and it doesn't work for, I don't know what's wrong with my door, but it wouldn't fit over it.
Really?
Trust me.
Those things always scare me. I never had one. I always scared, like, I'm a pretty, I guess I'm like not big, but I'm kind of heavy. I'm always scared I'm
My
gonna
man's
do it,
thick.
and it's gonna tear the thing that I'm
No,
terrified
they're
to do it.
pretty sturdy.
So I bought one at Sport Check. They had this big sale about a year or two ago, and so I bought it for like $30. This was like $100 chin-up bar.
Wow.
And it's, so I moved into my condo downtown about a year and a half ago now. And I have a powder room. So I'm like, hey, perfect. I'm just going to leave it there. Nobody uses a powder room. I'm always home alone anyways. So I put it in my powder room. And this is probably maybe one of the first weeks when COVID happened. I went down to my condo just to check in. I was living with my parents again just because they have a home gym. So I was like, let me do some chin-ups. I could do wide grip, close grip, front, reverse. I'll get a little chin-up workout.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I started doing 5, 6, and I'm just hearing cracks, and I'm like, oh man, I feel like my whole bathroom's just coming apart right now. I'm like, I gotta stop this.
Did you take it down? Wait, I've never.
So it's literally, it's on the table in my den. It's like a sick chin-up bar. If you want it, you can have it.
I got the lab, buddy. I don't.
You got the lab. You're good.
So actually, Good Life. No, I'm not gonna disrespect them,
We're
but
going
I
back to
can't.
No, I disrespect Good Life.
So because gyms haven't been open, I actually went on Kijiji and started buying like fitness equipment. So we have an office in Etobicoke. We like started putting like a squat rack and free weights, whatever, kettlebells and all that stuff. So, it's
the lab.
It's actually, honestly, it has everything that we need, like a lot of free weight stuff like that, a lot of kettlebells.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the best. The nothing excites me more than seeing like a bench and a few dumbbells.
That's literally what we have. Like it's a bench. Like it's essentially you can do all like compound exercise. You can do squats,
Yeah.
chin
You
ups,
have a squat rack too.
put like bench press, and then free weight stuff. Like
The only
that.
thing you need to
Yeah.
do is like actually put your squat rack, like stabilize it.
Not really.
I don't know, man. Like when I feel like that thing's coming
No,
down.
when
When
chin-
I'm,
oh, you
yeah, when
chin-ups,
I'm doing
you
chin-ups,
swing
I'm
it,
like,
it
that thing's
moves.
coming down.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe
it's
you're
good.
just not meant to do chin-ups.
No, honestly, maybe apparently I'm not. Apparently,
I hate. It's actually my least favorite exercise.
Oh.
Chin ups, but the one thing I do that someone once told me, an old friend of mine that's in really good shape, I've always hated them, and I was always terrible at them. And he goes, "What's your like?" When I told him this, he's like, "Well, whatever your worst exercise is, the one you hate the most, you should do the most."
Yep.
That's
Like
it.
you should do it because you get
100%.
over that, and you get obviously better at it. I honestly still do the same amount of chin ups today as I could back then, so it hasn't really worked. But
Funny story about chin-ups. When I was 13 years old on my hockey team, we had a fitness assessment, and I was like pretty skinny. I wasn't fit by any means, but I wasn't, not fit. So it was me.
not fit.
So we did chin-ups, and everyone's doing like 7, 8, 10. One guy did like 20, and we're doing close grip like this way,
Yeah,
the
chin-ups.
reverse,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
like just regular, the normal chin-ups. I couldn't do a single one. It was me and this guy named David Jackson. I don't even know what he's doing in his life right now, but me and David Jackson.
Shout out David Jackson.
Yeah, he was a thicker boy, like the thickest boy on the team. And me.
Or you say you thick to be like, is it a big dude? Like,
No, he was fat. Like I was trying to be polite.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't
So
trying to
he's
be
a
rude.
he's
I'm
a
just
thicker
curious.
dude, right? I don't know what he's up to. I'm sorry, David. If maybe you're fit now, I don't know.
Watching this, like
I mean, you never know, right?
crying.
Like,
That would be so bad.
so me and David Jackson were the only two kids on the entire team that couldn't do a chin up. So that night I went home and I'm like, Mom, I need a chin up bar. Like, you need to buy me one.
Yeah.
So she went to Canadian Tire the next day and bought the one where it's that straight bar that screws into the wall, and we put it in our basement and on the door to the furnace room because like nobody ever touched that door. So again, you would leave it slightly ajar because the door couldn't close. And every single night I would go down there and I'd do chin ups because I was so embarrassed that I couldn't do a single freaking chin up. By the end of the year, I could do like 25.
Really?
Yeah, I killed it. Yeah, now he's laughing, David Jackson.
Fuck you,
Yeah, that's
David.
what-
Wait, why are you laughing? He couldn't do chin-ups either.
That was my story. That was me and David Jackson.
No, that's awesome. And like, okay, so I get that a lot from a lot of I get a lot of DMs from girls being like, how do I do a chin up? How do I do a pull up? How can you do so many? And like, it's funny, same as you, I just made it a goal. Like I was like, I want to do 10 pull-ups. That was my goal. And that was when I still lived in Vancouver. So it was like 2014. And I actually found this training program that I had been following. It was the only one I've ever done that wasn't my own workouts, but I'd followed it for a while. And I can see on every single workout, I had written plus 5 pull-ups or like plus something for every single workout. And so yeah, every single day I worked on it. I did like eccentric pull-ups, I did like hangs, I did like just regular pull-ups, banded pull-up, whatever it was, but I always worked on them. And then yeah, I got from like half to like 10 in a year.
Wow.
Yeah. The way the way I started doing it is I'd have to jump to do one. So I'd jump, pull myself up, and I would do 50 like that. I would start on the floor, jump, pull myself up, go back down, jump, pull myself up. Then okay, maybe not jump, just start on my tippy toes and give myself a little like calf raise push. And that's how I started doing. By the end I was doing like 25 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're jacked.
I
Man,
was
I
last
should have
year.
done more chin-ups, I guess.
I was jacked last year. I want to. Are you done on this?
Go
I
ahead,
just want to
yeah,
switch
yeah.
over to the retreats because that's a completely different side. Tell us about the retreats. Where have you gone? What made you think of this idea?
Yeah, so I run this with a friend. Her name's Veronica. She lives in Vancouver now, but
Shout out Veronica.
shout out Veronica.
Shout out.
She was one of the few people I would like train because she was a friend of mine and she just wanted someone to like.
So you
train
were
her.
a personal trainer.
It was like a friend helping a friend.
Okay,
Let's call
okay.
it that. So, and every time we talked, she's in the travel industry. Every time we would hang out, I was like, all I want to do is like work out and travel. And she's like, all I want to do is like travel.
I love that.
So we were like, we talked about it for like a full year. We talked about it all 2017. And then in 2018, we were like, so she works for a hotel company in Mexico. In 2018, we're like, okay, like, let's plan this. So we talked about it all 2017, like came up with the idea. All 2018, we actually started building it in terms of like where we would be hosting it, what the itinerary would look like, what like the pricing would be, where we would host like the website, like everything. It took us a full year. And then in 2019, we ran our first one in Playa del Carmen. No,
nice.
That's not right. I can't remember where we ran it.
Somewhere in Mexico.
Somewhere in Mexico. It was like at this beautiful eco resort. It was so good. It was probably like one of the best experiences and one of like the greatest successes in my business like to date. It was such a good experience, and it was so good that when we came back we were like, let's run another one. So then we ran another one last year in November, and again, such a good experience. Beautiful people, like everyone became such good friends, and just like gorgeous like location. And then we went big. We were like, let's do 3 for 2020. What could go wrong? 3
Boom.
for 2020. So we had 2 planned in Cancun and 1 in Costa Rica. We were literally 2 days from leaving, and then COVID shut everything down. That's the weekend that the NBA got canceled. That's when you knew
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it was
when you-
serious.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
I was supposed to fly out, I think, on the 14th. And on the 12th, we had to cancel the whole retreat.
How many people were on this retreat?
10.
Okay.
Yeah. It was so heartbreaking. We had put so much work into it. We didn't know what to do. Like we had paid so much money to the hotels, and like they're not doing great. Like they're not giving back your money. They're giving you a credit, right? And I completely understand that. That's like how it was across the entire travel industry at the time. But yeah, it was extremely stressful. And so we had these 3 retreats planned. We had to tell everybody. We had to refund a ton of money. So it was just like really tough to kind of like deal with that. But I also knew that at the same time, like in terms of like what other people were going through and what other businesses were going through, it wasn't as bad as like as it could be. And then we talked about it like all this year, and then we decided, you know what, let's run local retreats. So in Canada, because there's no restrictions to travel within Canada, or at least there wasn't in the summer. So then we put together something called Camp Sweataway. And that's why I was in Vancouver this summer. So we ran 2 back-to-back like weekend retreats. It was like all camping vibes. We went for hikes. We like did tie-dye. We like played board games. It was so cool. It was so cool. And like all these people came from just like from all over Canada, like from like Manitoba, from Vancouver, from Calgary, from Toronto, to come to like this huge log cabin in the middle of nowhere in BC. Wow. It was awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And sorry, the other 2 that you had 3 booked, the other 2, when were they scheduled for? Was it going to be
March, May, and then I would be in like Costa Rica right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had to cancel all of these, but
all of them.
So what? Fuck! I just lost my. I was going to ask something on that vein.
I'm gonna go into log cabins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna.
So these retreats that you did, I guess this summer,
Yeah.
in BC. Again, how many people? And the thing I love about these retreats is it's about community. You know, it's about each one of you pushing each other, being together, making those friendships that are based off health and wellness. Because like you said earlier, it's tough to work out by yourself if that's not your routine. You know, it's tough to wake up at 6 a.m. and work out when you're 50 pounds overweight and your kids are yelling. You had a bad sleep because your partner was sick last night. Yeah. Who the hell's going to want to get up? But if you know Jenny is from Ottawa and she's going to be there, and Michael from Victoria, BC is going to meet you online, and you remember Georgie's going to be there for sure because this man's trying to lose some lbs too. Like, it just fires you up, right? You get
Yeah. It was so cool. Like as soon as everyone arrived on the first day, we looked at each other. We're like, this is gonna be good. And like on the 5th day, like it was 3 full days and then the arrival and departure day, so 5 days kind of. On the last like night, like the girls were like braiding each other's hair. They were like making friendship bracelets. They had just gone through a weekend of like really hardcore workouts, but then also like eating delicious food and like picking flowers and like going for walks together. Like, it was so cool. And yeah, it was just like awesome that we could pivot like that and like still run a retreat, but just like in Canada. And I think moving forward, that might be the way that it is going to have to be for the next little while, because just as the way things are going, like I don't foresee any retreats, like international retreats being planned. But Canada has so many beautiful places, you know?
For sure.
Like so many, like we're thinking like going up north. Like how cool would that be?
Yeah.
Like,
wait, you talking like north, like Northwest Territories north?
Yeah.
Like, damn, that would be
Do
sick.
it.
That would be sick.
yeah,
just do it.
just gorgeous places in Canada.
None of it.
So
Honestly, would you ever go up there?
I would for sure.
I think I would.
If we did like a nice, like, I would want to go snowshoeing. I want to go bobsledding. I'd want
I
to do
don't
the
think
whole.
you can bobsled in none of it. I think you need a bobsled track, which would be like Vancouver. I would guess.
Not bobsled, dog sled.
dog sled,
Okay.
yes.
Dog sled.
Lots
Yeah.
of dog
Did I say
sled.
bobsled?
You said bobsled, right? I
He
think so.
said bobsled.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. I meant
I thought
dog sled.
I thought I was going
Whoops.
crazy.
One of those mornings.
What's one like key takeaway you learned from this whole experience, of whether it's from just the ones that got canceled or planning this one? Like, what's one thing you've learned that you didn't expect to learn from all this?
What's one thing I learned? There's so many things I learned. Like patience, like just learning to be patient, like knowing you have literally thousands of dollars paid to a hotel that you're not using, and just being like, okay, I'll just have to be patient and like figure out like when I can get that money back or like run a retreat. I learned that there's always an option. Like you can always pivot. You can always like do something else. And that's what we did with the Camp Sweataway. That you're
I like
not
that
just,
name too, Camp Sweataway.
It's cute.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The retreat is called Ultimate Sweataway.
Okay.
So this was, like the camp
Sweataway,
version.
Ultimate
Camp
Sweataway.
That's
Sweataway,
kind of cool, actually. Yeah.
So, and then, I just learned that there's always like an option for you. It doesn't have to be a dead end. It doesn't have to be like, that's the end of your business. That's the end of like 2020. That's the end of this or whatever. Like there's always something that you can do to pivot and to find another opportunity in what you're given. And so, I learned a lot.
Yeah. I guess just in general, there's always a million reasons for the reason not to do something, not to continue, not to just persevere and move on. All you need to do is find one reason or one person that you're impacting in a positive way, and just anchor to that and say, you know what, whatever, make the best of it and just keep moving forward. Yeah.
And the number of people, like our first retreat sold out in like 24 hours.
Wow.
Like crazy. And when we realized that, we're like, there is something here. Like there is a big need. People want to travel, even if it is within Canada. People want to like meet other people. People want to work out and like do it somewhere else. They want a different experience. So it was really exciting to see like how well received it was. And we're excited to start planning for next year as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
If you could do any place in the world, do a retreat. So maybe it's Costa Rica or wherever you had planned, but you can pick one place that's like your big, like the ultimate Sweataway. The ultimate Sweataway. One place, where would you go? Or would you
just
post
because I love this country so much, it would be really cool to have a retreat there. Sri Lanka.
Oh, sick.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Have
I love
you?
No, I haven't.
Sri Lanka's sick.
Isn't that where you did that big party thing?
No, that India. What party thing?
The one where you had the white suit?
That's holy. That was India.
That was India?
That was India, yeah. Sri Lanka, I went from India. I spent a month in India, then I went down to Sri Lanka.
Right, yeah.
And actually, I was fortunate. One of like our employees, a longtime employee of our company, and like a good family friend, he's Sri Lankan. So he actually came and met me there. And like, so I spent some time in the south, like Waligama and those areas. I did some surfing and all that. But then when he came, he's from the north, like Jaffna, which is not a lot of tourists go up to Jaffna.
No.
I was like the only white dude there. But he took me around for like a week. Honestly, I did not expect it to be the way it was. It feels kind of like Bali, like very tropical.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The reason sorry, it's kind of a segue.
No, go ahead.
The reason I found out about how cool Sri Lanka was is because I was in New York for like a bachelorette party or something. And then I was coming back and flying into Porter, and our flight was delayed for like 3 hours. And I just started talking to this random girl in the flight. Like I was just like standing being like, Porter, am I right? And she was like...
That's so funny because like
everybody
that's what
thinks
you would
that.
do because it's like that awkward,
fuck Porter.
It's that awkward conversation where you're like, terrible, eh? Like just trying to make conversation with someone. That was a great impersonation. I mean, you're obviously doing what you did, but that was really, really good.
That's one of those moments, eh? That's a good one. Gosh, typical Porter. Continue.
So we were just chatting. She was telling me she had been traveling or something, or she was from Sri Lanka, but she was going to school in New York. And I was like, Sri Lanka, huh? And she's like, have you been? And I was like, no, like I just thought it would be kind of like India. And she's like showing me these photos on her phone, and I was like, oh, I have to go to this place. And so the next day I went. No, the next year we got to go. And yeah, like had I not met this girl on that flight.
Had Porter been reliable, you would have never.
Porter, am I right? That's great.
Well, we've all had those.
That's the clip.
We've all had those moments. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, but yeah, she just showed me, and so beautiful, and I was like, wow, like I have to see this country for myself. And yeah, like they call it the pearl of the Indian Ocean.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it is.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So beautiful.
I thought the same thing. I literally thought it was gonna be like India. So like,
Yeah.
and I actually honestly really liked India. It's one of my favorite places that I've been. But when I was like, oh, they're gonna be the same. But then I landed in Sri Lanka. I'm like, this is nice. Like it's tropical, very like chill, laid back. Like,
They're
very
so
cool place.
friendly there.
Very, yeah. Where were you? Like, did you
What
go down
language
to-
do they speak? Sorry.
Tamil? No.
Yeah,
Is that
I think
is that
so.
a language?
I think you're right. Yeah.
There's so like the cultures there is I think it's Sinhalese and Tamil, but I could be saying this wrong. I'm not sure, but I think that's the two languages. I think there's three
I'm
cultures.
sure
Anyways.
someone in the YouTube
Someone
comments
will, someone will
So
correct
someone
that.
knows.
Vishal, fact check that.
Yeah. One of our buddies like literally fact checks everything we say.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he'll text us because sometimes he'll get behind on the episodes. So he'll text us 3 weeks later and be like, "Oh yeah, George was right." And we're
Yeah,
like,
and I'd be like, we're like,
"What?"
I'm like context.
Oh yeah,
please.
no, but Ricky made that point too. So you guys are technically you're both right. I'm like,
Vishal, what are you talking about?
Give us a reference point in the episode. What episode are you even talking about? Love you,
man.
Vishal. When you get to this part in the episode, love you, buddy.
And yeah. Do you think you would you ever set it as a goal? Is it like a realistic thing at where all things considered, like no one's traveling for a while, but you've done a few now. Would you feel comfortable planning one, let's say like that far away, like Sri Lanka, or is it a big
Oh.
undertaking?
God, no, not anytime soon.
Okay.
This would have to be like in a few years from now for sure. We're kind of expanding our horizons by just doing Costa Rica. Like, because when we do it in Mexico, we have everything set up for us because
Okay.
we have that hotel hookup and like the relationships there, and we know like the staff there, or at least Veronica does. So we have like, it's very secure and like everything's kind of set up. But with Costa Rica, we had to like start from scratch, and same with the Camp Sweataway. Like we had to find a caterer, we had to find the cabin, we had to find all these like activities and like bring weights over and all this stuff. So doing it like outside of those locations in Mexico is a lot larger of an undertaking than the Mexico region.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you don't even think about it. Would you like buy? You have to buy all the weights out there. Or do you rent them?
Over in Mexico, you can probably get them from hotels. I'm
Yeah, we
assuming,
took them from the hotels, but that's what we were trying to figure out for Costa Rica. We were like, do we go to yoga studios? Do we go to a CrossFit
fair.
gym and like bring like we were figuring.
Well, even the
this
Camp
out.
Sweataway.
So that
I'm saying you can't ship weights. It's so expensive.
Very expensive.
Well,
Shout out to Mike Dirkle. Mike Dirkle just bought massive kettlebells from On It. Those things are
from On It?
Yeah.
So I have a partnership with GoZone. GoZone is like the fitness supplier of Walmart.
Oh, wow.
And so I just asked them, I was like, can we get equipment? And they were like, yeah, sure. And they like shipped it from China. We had all these dumbbells and stuff. So they shipped it.
Shout out GoZone.
Shout out GoZone.
Shout out GoZone. Hit us up. We need some weights too.
Yeah.
Hit us
For
up.
the podcast, that's it.
No, but it was, and then my friend or Veronica had this huge Honda Pilot. We like loaded everything in there, like all the weights, all the balls, steps, bands, things like that. Like obviously you have limited equipment, but then to me that's exciting because I'm like, how do I like make a workout with limited equipment? So it all worked out in the end.
Beverly pulls out phone.
Exactly.
That was a good one.
Furiously typing away.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we have 6 dumbbells of this weight. We have 4 bands.
We have 18 people, 4 bands, 6 weights.
Like, you know, like when people like are like whiteboarding, like
Yeah.
no,
You know
in
the meme?
Hangover, no, in Hangover when he's doing the counting cards and it's like all the equations like floating in the air.
That's Beverly.
That's what Beverly sees.
That
Like,
was
okay,
me.
each station, 1 band.
Oh my
solving
God.
like the Pythagorean theorem. Of,
I'm
like,
actually
weights.
like doing math. I'm like 30 seconds plus a 15-second rest times 4 times 4 times.
You lost me.
like,
You lost me at 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Too much math for me right now. That's but actually to your point, that is true. Like when you have less stuff, you have to get more creative, and it makes it fun, right? Like if you have like everything at your disposal, I'm sure it's still fun. Like you can kind of pick and choose what you want, but when you have to really come up with new things, you really have to get innovative, and it kind of makes it more fun for, like, I guess for yourself, but also for the people doing it, right? Because kind of thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when to that point, when COVID first happened, I moved back into my parents' house because they have a home gym. And I'm a gym snob, like huge gym snob.
Big
Like
you're
I
a
need to
snob in
work
general.
out. I need to
Wait, where do you work out? No.
Lifetime Fitness in Vaughan.
Oh, okay.
So it's like one of
Do
the
you live downtown?
yeah, but I work in Brampton, so it's like I usually
Got it.
kind of on my drive home. And then I also have an LA Fitness for near my office and for
Rick needs
when I'm
everything. He
downtown.
spends 5 hours at the gym.
I'm like I go and enjoy myself there. So I stretch for 20 minutes, cardio for 40, weights for maybe 30 minutes an hour, shower, steam. Like I'm there for a good 3 hours if
I want to make fun of him, but he is fit, so the results always speak themselves. But I think that's the biggest waste of time to spend that much time
I
in
love
a
it.
gym.
Like to me, that's like
But
my Zen time. You know,
It's
like
fair.
I go there
It's
and
fair.
it's, you know, it's my getaway. So I like to have a nice gym membership. When COVID happened, all the gyms get shut down. I go to my parents' house because they have a respectable home gym, a very, very respectable home gym. They have like, yeah, they have a cable
No, it's
system.
true.
They
Yeah.
have
Wow.
what's it called? The Iron
Elliptical?
Planet. Iron Planet Fit. No, it's
Iron
whatever.
Planet.
They have this nice cable.
Like the
It's a
things,
legit
like the
one.
cable flies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
legit
Yeah.
cable system. They have an elliptical and a
And a
shout out
vintage
Elaine,
treadmill.
the vintage treadmill.
Yo, can I take that thing? I need one for the lab.
No,
Is
they
bad?
need it, and you can't run on it. It
Oh,
skips.
damn.
Yeah. So then they have free weights from I think 5 pounds to 15 or something, or
Okay.
whatever. And we have a little bench, and that's basically it. So when I first started working out there, I was like, "Kill me! This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is actually terrible." Then a week goes by, and I'm like, "Hey, nobody has anything. So technically, I'm way ahead of everybody else." And we were walking a lot, trying to run and stuff. So then it's like, okay, you know, I've got this cable system. The book that they give you for the cable with the exercises are just all terrible and basic. Like I just hated them all. So I was like, you know what? That's it. We're gonna come up with different things. I started doing these exercises that I don't even know what they're really called. And I'm trying to Google them. I just made my own
You just
name for them.
invented your own exercise?
I just made no. I know they're real exercises, but I just didn't know what they're called. So I just make my own names for them. And now, like we know, there's one exercise
It's
where
like snatch, where you get
well,
arm
it's like
pull
you-
throw.
No, you grab it's for chest. So you grab the a handle and you kind of just bring it in like this, and you
Okay.
contract your chest. And I just call it close the door because I don't know what it's actually called.
You contract your chest. It's
So
your
when you
front
so
delt,
you're-
no?
No, so you're holding the handle here. So you pull, so it's attached to your elbows attached to your ribs, I guess, and then you close.
I feel that's like a
That's-
rotator
that's
cuff.
rotator
like-
cuff.
It's
Yeah.
right in here. It's the muscle that your chest to your shoulder. Well, I know it's your pec, but it's like one of the parts of your pecs. I don't know. So whatever. We call it close the door, and that's what we call it now.
Okay.
But yeah, so we again getting creative with these random exercises. Now I've loved planks. I'm terrible at them, but I love doing them.
Yeah.
Because again, that's the most home basic thing you can do for your core, and it's probably one of the better core exercises you can do.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, no, is it?
Yeah.
I'm not qualified to say that. I think it's one of the best, but I'm not qualified at all.
You're correct. That, like a dead bug, like any
Dead
sort
bug's
of
my
like
favorite.
Weren't we just
functional-
talking about this last
I
week?
think I showed you dead. Did I show you dead?
No,
bugs?
one of my trainers.
I think it's so
yeah.
sorry. We cut you off.
No,
your point
it's
there.
okay. It's okay.
We were just
I
talking
got
about
excited
dead bugs.
about dead bugs. I think it's one of the most
Yeah.
underrated and one of the toughest like ab
'Cause
workouts.
everyone's like, oh, it's so easy. It's like, you're not doing it properly. If you think dead bugs are easy, you're not doing
It's
it properly.
really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can make them harder. Like, do you do it with like a stability ball?
No.
Oh, you should do that. So it's like you're in the dead bug position, but then the hand and the knee that doesn't move are like holding the stability ball between, like you're squeezing and like creating like tension. So it like just creates more tension within your core.
Yeah, I'm shit at dead bugs, so I'm gonna hang off on the.
Hang off on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang off on that.
Try it.
I'll do it. You know, my honestly my favorite, actually my least favorite ab exercise, but has become my favorite as a result of boxing is ab wheels.
Oh,
They are so. I used to. My trainer used to maybe do like 100 in a session. I like doing 20 of them. You want to die, but honestly,
Do you do them on your knees or
100's
standing?
a lot.
Stand. Like I'd be jacked if I was doing standing.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, that's insane.
Are you crazy?
I can do like one standing.
No, I can do. No, I don't even think I could do that.
I can do one.
No,
That's
maybe
it.
kneeling. Yeah.
That's a really hard exercise, and
Very,
it's a really easy one to do wrong. Like,
Because people don't realize you have to keep your core completely engaged, or your
Engaged.
back will get messed up too, right?
Yeah. No, I got really excited. Well, not really excited, but when they were like, "Okay, gyms are shutting. You have to stay at home," and everyone's like, "What do we do?" I pulled out my phone.
This is what we're gonna do. Workout number 1, like 100 later, just still typing away.
I actually got really excited though, because you get so used to having like everything at your disposal. Pull-up bars, barbells, like plates, dumbbells, kettlebells, every weight. And just like going back to like minimal equipment was like for me rather exciting, because I was like, this is an opportunity to like be creative, like do more body weight exercises, learn how to use like 215s or 220s and make them like feel like 240s or something. So I just looked at it like everyone was really worried and freaking out at the time. And like, yes, of course, like it sucks. And like, you're not going to be able to like maintain your results as well as you would want to. But it's also like I said about like Camp Sweataway, like it was like, it's an opportunity to like flip it and like pivot and like try something different and train a different way. But yeah, I don't know.
One of the things I should add, that one thing that I thought would have been like a good positive in the summer, despite all the lockdowns and all that, for like the health and fitness type space in general, is Toronto, I think in the last few years, has built a lot of outdoor like park gym type things. But when COVID like first hit, people just assume like you're not supposed to everything you touch and contact, so they shut all parks down and stuff like that. So like in the summer, people I live near in Mimico, so like along the Lakeshore Trail, I think there's 2 or 3 different ones. Like they were roped off, no one could work out. And the reason I thought of this is because the other day I was walking. A lot of people are outside now working out, but in the summer, I'm not like doing that. I think was like a disservice to people. That would have been a good opportunity for people to get outside, work out, like a lot of bodyweight stuff. But that would have been like kind of something where people can get out and like kind of just like be around people in a safe way and kind of let loosen and burn off that steam. But they blocked them all, which I thought was kind of like a.
Those workouts are calisthenics, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Oh,
I think that's what they're called.
Calisthenics.
Because New York made them really popular, like those like outdoor jungle gym workouts.
Some jack
pull-up
people.
bars, like dip bars, things like that.
And they literally came from nothing. It was just like extra pipeline around in
Yeah.
New York, and they just made these little calisthenic.
I
gyms.
saw it when I was when was it? I think I was walking. There was packed
same.
people all over. Yeah.
We have like one of those parks really close to where I live, and it would be wrapped in like the caution tape, and then the next day like someone would have like pushed it all off, and we're doing like pull-ups and like dips and stuff, and then I'd go back the next day and it was like all wrapped up again, and they just kept wrapping it
Over and over.
over and over and over.
That's one thing I wish they. I mean, I'm not a dog. I don't know if it was for the right reason or wrong. Whatever. If they made the right decision, I don't know. But it would have been good to have in the summer, because I think more people would have got out and worked out more. Because I think a lot of people really like suffered in not having the ability. And even trying to buy stuff for the longest time. When I was trying to put stuff at our gym, like you could not find anything.
No, and do you see how expensive things were too? Like now you can buy weights at a reasonable price. In April, May, to try and buy like a 15-pound dumbbell was $50.
Yeah.
It's like it's a kind of industry standard. It's $1 a pound.
Yeah.
Plus shipping. Shipping we know is expensive, but it's $1 a pound. $50 for a single 15-pound dumbbell. Because my mom was like, "Oh, is this a good price?" I was like, "Oh, for a pair, it's not bad, right?" Like 30 pounds for the two. It's like, no, it's each. I was like, what?
Yeah, they were.
No, that's
gouging
terrible.
people.
Did you see on like Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji that people were building like squat racks out of wood?
Yeah.
I looked at this and they were charging a lot
They
of
look
money.
sick too, though.
But I was looking at this, I'm like, how reliable is this thing? Like, people like that's how limited supply was. I saw things made of wood.
But then wood went in limited supply. Wood's in limited supply apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like lumber to build stuff?
Yeah. Lumber's in limited supply.
Like right now.
I don't know about right now, but a couple months ago, like this summer it was.
Oh, because everyone was going to Home Depot to do
building
DIY
decks,
stuff.
decks and sheds and stuff.
Decks had a year this year.
Oh yeah. I wanted to ask because
year
we
for decks.
yeah
big year for decks.
we were talking about we mentioned COVID earlier. I want to ask this because a lot of your business is online. Aside from the getaway and the retreats, did COVID really affect your business? And if so, how?
In a positive way, it affected my business for sure.
That's good to hear. That makes me happy.
For sure, yeah. So
that sounded so sarcastic. I was being dead serious.
No,
That makes me happy.
I believe you.
That sounded
Thank
like I
you.
was like, oh, it makes me happy.
Yeah, it was. So in two ways, it was really good for me. I think a lot of brands started to realize like everybody was on their phones, everyone was on social media. So I started getting a lot more brand partnerships, which was great. I was doing a lot of free online Instagram workouts. So I would go live 5 days a week on Instagram. And for about 3 or 4 weeks, I was doing live videos for everyone. And then I came out with like one of my challenges after that. And like all the people who had been doing my free lives bought the challenge. And it was so good that I was like, okay, I'll do another one right after. And like all those same people who had bought that challenge bought my second one, plus like 100 people more. And then by this point we were at like, it was starting to get really warm. It was really nice out. So I created one final challenge. It was called the Elite Summer Shred. It was like very...
You just got the names, eh? There's a special notepad.
Elite's a strong word. Elite is a strong word. Too.
She's got like in the notepad, okay, workout number 177 right below it. Names for future classes and stuff.
Yeah, that's literally how I do it. I just like come up with words. It was a sick program. It was all like sprinting, stairs, plyometrics, running. Like it was awesome. And yeah, it was so good because everyone was like getting outside. There was like 5 workouts a week, 2 strength, and the other 3 were outdoor workouts. And yeah, everyone was like getting outside, like working out on the stairs, like doing stair workouts with they had like never done before, doing like plyometric bounding and like all these like all these movements that I learned when I played rugby. And so that was like super fun. So it was just really cool to watch like all the people like keep signing up for these challenges and then like keep getting more because like people were like, oh, like these challenges are working. Like the results, like people were seeing like insane results and I was showing it on social media. And yeah, so for me, like it sounds bad, but like the COVID and the quarantine like really pushed my business further.
Well, I don't think it sounds bad, to be honest. I think that it's also like, yeah, okay, obviously you're benefiting at times when others aren't, but at the same time is like you're not just sitting around saying, oh, cool, give me your money and do this. Like you're going out and working and doing something. And you're also like, you're creating, I guess, positive energy, not doing something that's like, it's not like a negative like or net loss. Like you're taking away from something, you're providing something like healthy to people, right? So I think it's good that your business grew.
But at the end of the day, a lot of the fitness industry is online now. Like if
almost all of it is now.
Everything is, right? That's how you were just ahead of the game, so you got to benefit from being ahead of the game. And when you were making those 400 view videos in 2017, I bet you didn't think that you'd be benefiting from a global pandemic, right? But that's because you were doing those things. So it's to that point of, you know, the early bird gets the worm kind of thing.
Yeah.
I had 2 questions. I forgot one of them now, but in regards to the names, we're joking about these names you come up with. What's the worst name you've come up with? Is there one that's like really...
Sweat is sexy.
That's it.
Is there one that you've like written down like...
No.
Like you just throw out a bunch of ideas and like, okay, can't use this, can't use that.
What I do when I come up with the names, I have like a list of like powerful words.
Oh, that's good.
And then I have another list.
Ultimate synonyms.
Basically.
Elite. Powerful.
Yeah. Oh, I have several businesses and I always try to like incorporate the word sweat because I'm very sweaty. And like I know everyone's always like, I'm sweaty too. I'm like, shut up. I'm really sweaty. Like beyond
Listen,
I
sweat.
You don't know what bum sweat is, okay? Like, let me tell you, lady.
Okay, now I'm a little too far here.
Yeah. So no, what I do is like I have like a list of like those words, and then I have like a list of like I guess like verbs or like an adjective and a verb or something like that, and then I just kind of like combine and like I think about it for like a week, and then one day it just kind of like comes to me.
And it all kind of
I feel like you've got like 30 websites all ready to rock and roll with different powerful getaway retreat, super sweaty retreat.
So, I like pretty much
super sweaty elite retreat. I'm copyrighting that. You heard it
Getaway.
first.
No,
Can't take it.
I want to buy it.
That's my gift to you.
So that's kind of like how I come up with it.
It's actually I really like that.
That's a good idea.
Super sweaty elite retreat. It's pretty catchy.
It's pretty good.
Kind of long.
Can you
You're
imagine
welcome.
if you saw it like, next year?
Just like in super sweaty elite retreat, Sri Lanka. Damn it! I would
You
go
would
on
have
that. If
to
you
book.
do that, I will go.
Okay.
I promise. If you have to
Deal.
name it that. If you don't name it that, I'm not going.
Okay.
Deal.
Awesome.
What was the second
I
question?
can't remember. It was like something on that vein. Anyways, it might come to me. I can't remember now. It was something like I was gonna make a joke about something, but anyways, I can't remember. I do remember.
The worst name that I've ever come up with. I think the worst name I ever came up with, though, I didn't like Sweaty and Fit.
Okay.
That what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was not like I had that name for so long, and I was like, it's just like two random words that don't like
Yeah.
fit. They don't inspire. That was like my least favorite.
Fair.
Yeah.
I remember my question.
Okay, I got one too.
So you're mentioning like your partnerships and all that stuff, and one of the things.
My question, too.
I was gonna ask. I don't want to ask who your favorite one is. 'Cause I don't know if that's a fair question.
I was
but
gonna ask that.
What's one that you were like just, I guess, surprised or really excited that you had the opportunity? Maybe something you never thought you would have the opportunity, or sorry, a company you never thought you maybe have the opportunity to partner with, like at this point in your career. I guess. Is there one that sticks out?
That's a good question. I feel like if I looked at my life now when I was like in 2014, 2015, and I knew all the companies I worked with now, I would be like astounded. I'd be like, wow, Beverley, like you've done so well for yourself. Yeah. And I like thinking about it like that because I feel like I get to this point where I almost like take for granted like the partnerships that I have and like the companies that I get to work with. So I always like to kind of like think back to like how much I've grown in that time. But I would say like I got to work with Hudson's Bay, which I thought was really cool. Like they are such a big like Canadian company that like that was awesome for me to like have that opportunity.
That's a cool one,
I got to work with like Reebok on like some stuff, and like they were really fun to work with because they literally were like, here are some clothes, do what you want, like just go with it. Whereas a lot of brands have a lot of different guidelines. Like you really have to say like a certain message. You have to make sure you have like not this certain color in one of your photos. Like I've gotten such crazy like requests. But yeah, like I like brands that they're just like, this is the like Go Zone, the equipment company. They were like, this is the workout stuff that you're getting. Go for it. Like do whatever you want. Have fun.
That'd be creative.
And I did. But yeah, so like I like working with brands like that, but like I just feel so lucky to be working with like any of these brands. Like I work with like Kettle One, like that's cool. Like
cool.
Heineken, like just like all these huge brands that are just like they're awesome. I think all of them are great.
That's really cool. Good for you. Do you remember what you
No, I was gonna ask about what your favorite partnership was.
Oh,
that's what I was literally gonna ask.
Aligned. Are you I see Puma, but you Puma, Nike, Reebok, Adidas? Like, what's your go-to? Do you have one that you prefer?
I rock only Puma sneakers
Wow.
for streetwear.
Those are very cool sneakers. I will say. I'm not.
Those the Rihanna ones?
No. I have a really good relationship with Puma. They send me about like a new pair of sneakers about once a month. It's crazy. So I have a lot of pairs. They have
sick.
such cool sneakers. Like
Really?
This is a good plug here, eh? Reebok, you listening?
You're welcome, Reebok. This is on us. Send us some sneakers too, though.
You guys need to Puma.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, what did I say? Did I say Reebok?
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad, Puma.
We'll edit that part.
Yeah. I'll bleep. I can probably bleep that out, but my bad. I don't know why I
honestly,
said that.
if you go on the Puma website and look at like their guys' shoes or even the girls' shoes, they have the coolest stuff. So I wear only Puma sneakers like for streetwear, and then for workouts, I have like a pair of Adidas that I really like. I wear like Nike Metcons if I'm doing like heavier lifting, but I'm not like a ride or die.
To one brand.
No.
You know what's funny? A lot of people mention the Nike Metcons. I don't love mine.
How come?
I just feel like they feel weird on my feet, just because they're such a stiff sole.
Yeah.
Like that's
like
the purpose of them. I just hate them.
They're my
Sorry, not hate
go-to,
them.
like-
I just don't love them.
I wouldn't do them like wear them for like anything like high impact. Like I'd
No,
wear
I
them
feel like
for,
you were like squats,
Yeah.
lunges, like
Yeah. I wear them for that and boxing. I use them for because they're flat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because boxing shoes are supposed to be like they're flat. Oh. So when I'm not like boxing shoes are kind of weird looking, they're kind of tall and everything, but Metcons are pretty good for it. Yeah.
I thought you just did barefoot. Is that no?
That's I like
Thai.
box
From Muay
like
Thai and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
So yeah, I have shoes on.
I was gonna ask, what does because it's the point where you usually start to wrap it up. But what's 2020, the end of 2020, 2021 look like for you?
Yeah, so I'm actually working on a new business right now.
What's the name?
Sweat Nation.
I love it.
Actually, that's pretty good.
That's a
I
little
like that.
different, though. That's a little different. There's no verb in there.
No, you're right. You're right. So I'm actually tomorrow or on Monday, I'm starting a new challenge. So tomorrow's like the last day to kind of like sign up to join the challenge. And it's all under this new brand called Sweat Nation. And what Sweat Nation is it's an on-demand platform. So all the workouts are follow along workouts. So like anytime, doesn't matter what time zone you are in, doesn't matter if you work out at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. Like you can do these workouts anytime. They're all always available. I do them from like start to finish with you. And so basically like what we're trying to do is create like a subscription platform. It's like very cost effective. Like it's not too expensive, but yet you get access to like, or eventually you'll get access to like hundreds and hundreds of workouts. And right now I'm the only trainer, but what we're looking to do, because I have another business partner that I'm working on this with, is expand it to other influencers. So other like fitness influencers who have incredible workouts, but like maybe a little bit of a different style of training than I do, to really just kind of like round out the platform. So it's not just the Beverley show. It's not just Beverley's workouts, Beverley's warm-ups, all that stuff. It's like they'll hopefully be like yoga workout or yoga sessions. There'll be like Pilates, there'll be like maybe boxing, like just making it very like just a wide range of workouts.
Creating like a community that caters to kind of everyone's
Everything,
needs
yeah.
or whatever mood they're in kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And having all that on the same platform. So that's what we're building out right now. It's like been a big like project.
Is there a projected launch date?
Well, so the challenge launches tomorrow, or sorry, this challenge starts on Monday, but the actual subscription program we're really going to launch like in the new year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Great name, too. Sweat Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like bringing in like, it's like a nation of like members.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
all
cool.
over the world.
The cool thing is actually that you said like you're going to reach out to other people, and I don't know that space enough, but it seems like a lot of people when they do their online type thing, it's like about, like you said, like the Beverly show, people do it about their fitness. I think it's really cool to bring other people and get them involved, right? It kind of creates that network effect, right? Because you'll tap into their network too, and so on. So
you pay like one fee and then you get access to any workout that you want. Like that's our ultimate goal.
Who, if you is there like someone like a personal trainer or fitness influencer that's like you'd love to collaborate with or have a partner like collaborate?
I've actually never really thought of that. No, it's funny you ask. I don't really follow very many fitness influencers. I follow like the girls who are my friends, of course, but I don't know. I tend to like stay away from like following too many like big typical fitness people. I just kind of like try to keep my feed more friend based, you know?
Fair.
George, same question to you. If there was one person that you could have train you, like a celebrity trainer, who would it be?
Ooh.
It's an interesting
I'm just
question.
I actually haven't put any thought into this. It's just the first one that came to my head. I saw like I get the emails from like Men's Health, but there's one article that I read. There was a guy that he's the Hollywood trainer. He's trained like Ryan Reynolds and like Chris Evans for like Captain America. He's like I think he's maybe some Eastern European name. I don't know his exact name, but he's gone and like he trains Zac Efron. I know that Zac Efron's jacked.
So jacked.
Jacked.
My ideal body. Zac Efron, Baywatch.
Zac Efron looks like he hasn't eaten.
Yeah, he looks a little. There's like no, like he's literally can probably like. There's no fat, nothing.
There's no fat.
Guys,
He's scary.
Ryan Reynolds, Blade Trinity. That's an old movie.
Yeah.
He was jacked in that movie. That was like my ideal body type. And Zac Efron, Baywatch. That was like my ideal
He's
body.
so jacked. in that
Something to
movie.
work towards.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. What about
I'm-
you? Do you have a trainer? You don't train you?
No, I wouldn't even know. I don't know any like personal
right?
trainers. Really.
Mine would be
you know,
more-
like an interesting one that I don't really care to. I'd want to do it with my mom is like Jillian Michaels.
Sorry, I do have.
I would want to do that with my mom just because I feel like
She
my
seems
mom
cool,
would like
too.
her. Yeah, I just feel like she'd be like a good workout for me and my mom, and something we could do together. And my mom could relate to that.
Yeah.
I do know who I would do. I would do boxing, and I would do Freddie Roach, who's like the famous boxing trainer. He's only trained Manny Pacquiao, but
That's a good one. Then.
legend.
Oh, now I wish I had one. I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
We'll get back to us.
Yeah. And then I'll email you.
Appreciate
Beverly, we appreciate you taking the time of your day, sitting down with us, chatting with us. This has
Time
been a
flew
fun.
by.
That's what I'm looking. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
What are
it's
we at?
We're
it's about 75 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, past that 80
that
minutes.
Did
Yeah.
fly.
80 minutes,
It
yeah.
flies by, right? It flies by
I
when you're
look
having fun.
What a loser.
But Beverly, we have these two questions we always ask every single guest.
Okay.
The first, if there was a movie about your life, who would you want to star as you? Could be any person from any point in time.
Kristen Krug, because she looks exactly like me.
Who's that?
Kristen.
Do you know Lana from Smallville?
No.
Do you know Smallville?
No.
I know Smallville.
Kristen
It's a
Krug?
Superman TV show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but no.
Oh my God. My entire life, I was like, people were like, "You look
Out
like
of my
Kristen
phone, I was
Krug.
gonna
You look like
Google it.
Kristen Krug." One time, I was on TV, like I was at a rugby tournament, like in Portland. And
Kristen Krug playing rugby.
Yeah, and they were interviewing me, and they're like, "This girl looks like Kristen Krug," and they like put a photo.
Come
of
on.
Me. Yeah, it was.
We
at
gotta
that
look this
time,
up
it looked
after.
nothing
Yeah, I
like her.
can't.
Yeah,
I
have a
can't
look.
picture it.
We got this.
So I guess her, just because it would people would be like, "That's Beverly. She's such
Sick.
a good actress." I didn't know.
Perfect. Okay, I like that. That was a quick answer too.
Yeah.
Very rare do we get quick
Yeah.
answers like that.
Oh, that was quick. Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. And the last one is, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Oh, I always like say this, like everything will work out the way it's supposed to. Every part of your life, the hard parts, the sad parts, the good parts, everything works out the way it's supposed to, and you will be right where you are supposed to be.
Wow,
I love that.
that's good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You are everything happens for a reason. You're put
No,
everything
that is-
everything that has happened in your life has put you to where you are right now. And it's where you're supposed to be. If you want to make that a difference in the future, then do different things to make that difference. But no.
I actually have
that.
one. Actually, I'm gonna ask one more question on that same vein.
I love
Oh, I love this. A follow up.
If you could
New
give
studio,
one
new
piece of
question.
advice to people right now for fitness, whether it's going back to the beginning, we talked about like physical fitness or meditating, sleep, eating, whatever it is, you can tell them to do one thing this week, because this is going to be released to start the week.
Mm-hmm.
If you can give them one piece of advice to set their week on the right course this week, what's one thing you would give them?
Like we talked about before, like do what makes you happy. If going for runs makes you happy, then go for your runs. If like the idea of picking up a weight just like brings you stress and like anxiety, don't do that. If like you want to do yoga 5 days a week because that's what brings you joy and makes you feel good, do that. Like stop feeling like you have to do something just because other people are doing it. Do what makes you happy, because that at the end of the day, that's like what life is about. Like feeling good, feeling joyful, feeling happy. And that's what I would say.
It's good advice.
Love it. Beverly, if people want to find out more about you, all the businesses, Sweat Nation and everything else, where can they go? How can they find you?
They could check out my website, borntosweat.co, co.com, and or my Instagram at Beverley Chang.
Spell it out.
BEVERLEYCHENG.
Beauty.
See, I would have messed that up. I would have said A. Like I would have.
There would have been
Yeah.
a U in there.
Well, that's why, right? 'Cause sometimes people don't. When it's easy when you say it, and then we're gonna put all
We'll
the
link them
tags
all,
and everything.
yeah.
We'll tag. But sometimes people are listening to this in the car, and they'll be like, "Okay, I remember that," and they go find later, and they can't find you.
Yeah.
Or maybe they find the wrong person. Like do you guys see the thing about there's a Joe Budden in a different country who got super famous on Instagram because people thought it was Joe Biden.
Fake Joe Biden.
It was a
Oh my
fake Joe
God,
Biden.
it was
Just
Budden?
it was like a U instead of an I or
my
something,
God.
and he's like gained like 500,000 followers on
Sick.
Instagram or something ridiculous. I was reading an article about that the other day. This is insane.
On that note as well, when obviously Sweat Nation does launch in the new year, let us know. We'll share it.
Aw,
Happy to promote it.
thanks.
And if you do Sri Lanka, we will join.
What's the retreat called? The Super Sweaty Elite Retreat?
Is that what we called it?
I don't know,
think
but
so.
that
That's
was
better. Super sweaty elite
yeah.
retreat.
I feel like it
That's
almost
kind of-
rhymes.
that's kind of
just keep coming, you know? Like, they
super
just don't
sweaty
stop.
Sri Lankan elite retreat.
Notepad open instantly.
I like that name. Anyways,
Perfect, guys. If you made it to the end of this episode, subscribe, leave us a review, the fun things. Hit us
5
up on
stars.
Instagram. We'll give you a sweater. First person to hit us up can get a free
follow
sweater.
me on LinkedIn. I don't have Instagram anymore, so
Yeah,
hit
George
me
is
up.
officially off. Hit him up on Instagram
So
at
hip.
George Boutsalis on Instagram.
I don't have
Oh, sorry, on LinkedIn.
just Boutsalis.
On
But it's,
LinkedIn.
my name is George Boutsalis.
Yeah,
but
George
you can
Boutsalis on
link
LinkedIn. You can
Boutsalis.
find him.
I don't know. I've just had this fascination with LinkedIn. Now I got off Instagram. I don't know why I did it, but that's
Hey,
my
whatever-
story.
Hey, what makes you happy? Just
Exactly.
what you said.
You're
What
good
makes you happy?
things, yeah.
Exactly.
All right, signing off, pals. Cheers.
Peace.